Right, so it's daunting and scary because you think, oh, am I going to get the visa? Is it hard? No, it's not hard because actually, for Malaysian nationals, 97% of you are successful. You will get your your visa. I keep saying because apply for a visa. 97%, that's huge. That means you're very low risk against our immigration rules. If you compare to other nationalities, it's around 84% globally. So Malaysian nationals, very easy for you guys. There's nothing to be scared of, okay? You've got confidence just being a Malaysian national. That link below, if you've not already familiarized, how do I apply? Do I go to the High Commission? That's where you go online to apply. There's no other way. There's no other website. There's no other provider. That's actually the only way you can apply, okay? Be wary of websites that say you can apply through their website, because there was a case last year, a student did apply through one of those weird websites, but that's the official one, okay? Let's go to the next one. So, against the immigration rules, these are the things that you will need to fulfill. So you'll need various things. There's a TB certificate. There's proof of your relationship to whoever's paying. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's you're a achieving scholar, perhaps. Also, copies of previous education certificates. Also, evidence of funding for 9 months that you've provided in your bank account or your parents' bank account. So all those things against the immigration rules you will need to fulfill, okay? But lucky you, Malaysian nationals, because when you actually go online, you make an appointment to go and submit your documents. You don't need to submit all these documents, right? These are just rules that you need to comply by behind the scenes. Let's go to the next one. Because when you actually do go to the Visa Application Centre, which is run by a company we call VFS, it's our partner company for the UK government, these are the actual documents that we only need you to submit, right, when you go physically to the Visa Application Centre. Your passport, obviously, your CAS, an A-test certificate. What's that? Now, not all of you will be required to provide that. Only if you're going to study certain subjects, such as engineering, the technology type studies. If your university doesn't ask you for one, you don't need to worry about that. If you've lived in Malaysia for the last 6 months, then you will need a TB certificate. That you will get from a hospital that's recognized by the UK government. Which ones are they? It's on the gov.uk website. If you click on TB testing centre, you will find ones for KL, okay? Also, if you are under 18, now let's get a show of hands. Who here is under 18? Under 18s? Just one? Maybe a couple more behind? Okay, make sure you get a consent letter from both parents. This is something that's often missed because they focus on the other things, they actually forget they're under 18. Also, your birth certificate if you are under 18, all right? So, pop quiz. Did you get all that? Because you're gonna be students now, you're gonna be used to pop quizzes. So, who can help out and tell the rest of us what you need to provide? Who's a brave soul here? Let's not go to the students. Brave soul, who can help? I'm going to pick one. I think you know what you're doing.
The ones for Malaysians or all of them?
Malaysians.
Passport? Passport, CAS, TB test, and maybe the atas thing.
Yes, well done. Round of applause. You will do well in the world. Great, so repeat. passport, yeah? CAS, right? Or when you get it, apply. TB certificate, you can apply for the TB certificate 6 months in advance. So don't wait until you get your CAS. If you know you're going to the UK already, why not do it now, okay? If under 18, again, consent letter and the birth certificate. Next. Okay, so if you are old enough to bring dependents, which is you're going to bring your wife, your husband, or your children to the UK, all that benefit of reduced documentation also applies to your spouses and your children if you're going to go together. What that means is you have to apply at the same day, okay? It can be a different time on the same day, but when you go online, apply for your visa, make an appointment together at the same time. That means you can just link up to your main applicant and you don't need to provide evidence of funding, you don't need to provide your marriage certificate or your birth certificate because you're already linked to the main applicant, okay? If you're bringing spouses or children. What if you're bringing them at a later time? Maybe the next year, maybe you're not ready to bring them now, maybe you don't have time to apply together and then they apply the next month or another time. Then you will need to submit the full set of documents. All those documents at the first slide, you will need to provide evidence of those, okay? Is that clear? So it's good if you apply together, but it's also all right if you apply separately. Thanks. So how much is it? This is how much you'll need to provide. The Tr4 Visa Fee right now is $482 US. You pay that online, only with a credit card or PayPal, okay? You don't pay it when you go to the application center, it's online. Also, if you're in a hurry, some of you may get your CAS late. Some universities don't give your CAS until it's closer to your course start date. For those of you who cannot... So let me go back a bit. So for the normal visa, it will have a processing time of a target of 15 working days. So that is working days, not calendar days, okay? Now, that is counted day one when you go to the visa application center and you submit your biometrics and your passport and your documents. That's day one. Day one is not when you pay and apply online. That's not day one. Okay, we count it from the visa application center appointment. That's 15 working days. Now again, if you are in such a hurry that you can't, make judgment that it's going to work out within 15 working days, do consider the priority visa, Malaysian ringgit 1230. So if you can apply early and not have to pay for that, even better, okay? So when you get your CAS, apply as early as you can so you don't have to end up paying for an extra fee. So that is a target of 5 working days. That's a target. Why I'm urging you to apply when you have your CAS is because so many of you, students, applying at the same time across the region, and it's handled by one decision-making center in the region, handling 14 countries, 14 sets of vast numbers of students. So to beat the peak, to not apply at the same time where there's a longer queue, please do apply as early as you can, okay? Because it's a target timeline, there may be a longer queue waiting for you if you apply too late. Okay, thank you. Next. So, because of that, if you can, please book your flights after you get your visa. If you've already booked your flights, don't confirm it yet until you get your visa, okay? So BA have flexible dates, that's awesome. But the advice is don't confirm dates until you have your visa. When you go online, this is another fee you'll have to wrap your head around. We talked a little bit about the NHS, thanks Jennifer, before. So to access that National Health Service, which is a very, very good health, it's not really insurance, it's access to the health service. When you go online, this is the fee that you will pay together with your visa fee. Okay? It's all in one go. How much is it? Depends how long you'll be living in the UK. If you're there for a year, then you'll pay 150. But most of you will be going for a little bit over a year, because that's the duration we're going to give your visa. So even if your course is a master's degree of 1 year, usually we give a few months extra on top of that, therefore giving you permission to stay in the UK for just over a year. So likely you're going to pay 150 plus 75 pounds, which is half the duration of a year, for that little bit of extra stay in the UK. If you're staying for 3 years, you're going to pay 3 times 150. This also applies to dependents and children. So if you're bringing them along, they also have to pay the exact same fee. Another reason to apply early is because later on in the year, this fee is likely to double. I don't know yet when, but it will. It's coming in. So if you're applying now, it's still 150. But I don't know if you're applying in August or September, it may be double that, okay? So this is another time to save. Something else that I need to brief you on is called the Biometric Residence Permit. Now, when you receive your passport from the Visa Application Centre, you'll receive it in an envelope, it's sealed. You'll also receive a letter, like this. And in your passport will be a visa sticker, or your vignette, we call it. It's only valid for 30 days. Now, don't worry. I know you applied for 3 years courses or 1 year's courses. That's how it is. We'll only print a validity on your visa sticker for 30 days. That's tied to the date on your CAS, within 30 days of your course start date. That is for you to enter the UK with your visa sticker, okay? And with this letter, we call it a BRP letter, show that also at immigration in case they ask. Keep it with you in your hand luggage. You go to your nearest post office and you exchange that for a little card. It's like a credit card, but with your details, your data, and how long you are allowed to remain in the UK. You can use that, therefore, to enter and leave the UK as much as you wish. It's just like your visa, but instead of carrying your passport around, when you're a student, you don't want to carry your passport around, leave that at home. You just carry your BRP card, all right? You may collect it at the post office, which you will choose online. When you apply for your visa, you're going to choose based on where you live. It could be your accommodation. There's the postcode. That postcode of your accommodation is linked to the nearest post office. If you don't have your accommodation yet, that's also all right. You can just choose the postcode from your university. That will also be the nearest post office from your university, okay? Some universities will organize for you to pick it up for large numbers of groups. So check again with your international office, do I need to pick it up myself? I go to the post office, or do I just go to the nearest international office at the university and they'll already have it there? Okay, check with the university. Either way, you do need to pick up that card within 10 days when you arrive. Now, that's very important to keep your card safe. Also, tip is to keep your BRP letter safe. Why? Because a lot of people lose a lot of things. So when you get your BRP letter, good tip, take a photo of it or scan it, send it to yourself, send it to your mum, send it to emails. So if you lose your BRP card, you will have links on it of what to do, where to go, who do I report it to. Or if you change your details, perhaps this happens, you change nationality, you change to Singaporean nationality or something else. You also need to report that, okay? Why do you need to keep your BRP card safe? It's very important to keep it safe. Don't lose it, because you will get in a bit of trouble if you lose it. If you lose it overseas, you can't enter the UK again without a BRP card. Okay, so what do? If you lose it, you have to reapply. You have to go online to that website again, and then there's a category called replacement BRP. You have to apply overseas if you happen to lose it overseas. Or if you're in the UK, then you apply within the UK. Right, so don't lose it. It'll just be a lot simpler if you just keep it safe. Right, so when you go to the Visa Application Centre, you've made your appointment, right? You've chosen the date, time. You may likely be called for an interview. Now, not all of you will. Some of you, we just want a random sampling. It's not really face-to-face like that. It's actually over VTC, video teleconference, with an officer in Sheffield who will likely interview you. Don't be nervous about it. It's not that hard. We already know you're genuine students. You already know, these reasons why you're going to the UK. So they're going to be general questions. What do you want to do with your degree? Are you going back? Do you want to work there? Just be honest. We're not really deciding a visa based on your answers. That's not the spirit of the interview. We just want to make sure that you're the same person applying for that visa and it's not someone else coming in. That's all, right? So don't be nervous. Okay? Those 3% out of the 97%, some are refused. Why? Mostly, it's because they forget to tick in the right box for immigration history. So, say you with your parents were refused a US visa maybe some 4 years ago, but then your parents forgot to tell you, or you forgot to tick it down. If you say no when you had been refused, then usually it's an automatic refusal. It's all right if you've been refused, it's perfectly fine. Just disclose it, just say yes, and then what happened. We're not gonna really take that into consideration. We just want you to be honest in the beginning, okay? Mostly it's that. Really innocent, but good to take notice. Ask your parents, have I ever been refused to any country, okay? Also, not replying to emails from the hub when we ask you for something. So this is another reason to check your email when you go to the Visa Application Centre. Sometimes you're so confident that you forget that every single letter, character counts from your email. So check again that that's correct, because that's the only way that we're going to reach out to you or ask you for further information or further documents, should we require it. So most of you won't need to provide documents, but we will random sample some of you, maybe less than 1%. So maybe one of you out of this room, we're going to email you and ask for a full set of documents, or maybe not the full set of documents, maybe just a sample of your bank documents, because we want to know that you're complying to the immigration rules, the slide earlier, where all those documents are. Also, if you do get an email, we will give you time. Don't worry about, what if I don't have enough time to get my bank documents together? We'll give you time between 5 to 10 working days, usually. If you don't have enough time to reply, or if you can't get the documents in time, then just say so, right? There's an actual person behind that email. Say that, my bank says that I will need 7 days. I can't meet your deadline. Please, can you give me an extension? Just say so. And perhaps attach corresponding emails that you receive from the bank saying so. So we might give you an extension. But we won't refuse you straight away, right? That's how we get to the 97%. We don't refuse people straight away. We give you an opportunity to reply to emails. So do check your spam, do check your emails daily in case there is an email from us. It will be from an fco.gov.uk email, right? FCO is Foreign Commonwealth Office. Those under 18 usually, again, forget to submit that letter. So that's another reason why. Also, those of you who forgot TB certificates from a recognized hospital by us. Some of you are so proactive, you just go to any hospital and get a TB test done. We can't accept that. It's only from the hospitals that we've appointed on the gov.uk website. Right? So, tips from me. Again, apply in advance. Actually, you can apply 3 months in advance before your course start date, if you can. If you've got your CAS as far in advance as 3 months, that's fine. It doesn't mean you'll get your visa 30-day straight away. Those 30 days will still be tied to the dates on your CAS, okay? When will the date start? We reserve the right to pick the dates within those 30 days that's tied to your course start date, okay? So don't confirm your flights again because you think, oh, it's within the 30 days. It might fall outside of the validity that we've printed on the visa, yeah? Apply early, again. And all supporting documents, they should be on A4 size. And it shouldn't be crumpled, don't fold them, don't paperclip them, because they're going to be scanned at the Visa Application Centre, and we want all that image to come out smoothly on the other side. Because if it's a little bit crumpled or folded, then perhaps our hub in Manila will ask you, can you resubmit that page? Can you email that page because we can't see clearly, or perhaps it's just, a bit corrupt on the other side, right? So make sure it's nice and, neat, paper's neat. And if you photocopy, make sure the photocopy is legible. It's good photocopying. Okay, check your emails, check your spam again. That's the only way we're going to contact you. So something that's exciting is this year, if you've applied to one of these 27 institutions, you can catch which of those 27 are there on a link. You'll get a longer duration on your visa. It's awesome because we do welcome you to use that time after you've graduated. You can travel, or even better, you can apply for internships, you can apply for work, because we do welcome workers. It's not like, oh, you go to study and then you have to leave. By all means, explore the job market, explore the internship market, use your term time to get to know your industry, volunteer at companies, and then from there you'll get contacts to do, further job shadowing, perhaps, that lead to work opportunities. So you saw the video that I played earlier. Those are actual students right now in the UK. A couple of them, very young, have received job offers. You think that, okay, the minimum salary of 20,800, how much is that? Is that big? Is that not? No, that's what she got. She's a very young person. It's just an entry-level salary. Most of you will likely get that. It's not a manager-level salary, very entry-level, okay? So job opportunities are out there for those who reach out. So those who get into these 27 institutions get an extra 6 months on top of your course duration. So only for international master's degree. If you've applied for a 1-year master's, that means on your validity, we'll give you 1 year, 6 months. Okay? For other institutions, we'll give you 1 year, 4 months. Still some time to do whatever you want with the 4 months bonus. But for these 27, you get an extra 6 months. And that is automatically added to your visa. It's not that you have to enter the UK and then reapply for that extra time. No, it's from the beginning, you're already entitled to stay for that duration. So these are the universities. If you're among those, then you'll get that extra time. All right? So talking about the visa categories for work opportunities, you can look this up. You can take a photo. Perhaps it's not in your mind right now. You're not really thinking about working yet, but you will get there. Once you get there, it can be a bit confusing if you don't know which category you fall under. Most of you will fall under the Tier 2 General with a minimum salary of 20,800. That's what your sponsor or hirer, employer, will request you to have. Also, there's a Tier 5 internship for those who want to have paid internships or non-paid internships to stay longer. Okay. So these two links are very useful. The first is how to contact UKVI if there's a problem with your visa. If you don't get your Brp letter, for example, or if it takes too long that you think there's something up here, why haven't I got my visa? This is getting a bit too delayed. That's the way to contact us. Okay, and then certain cases will be escalated, and then that casework will be going straight to the hub for them to figure out if it's something that is absolutely troublesome. We will get to you as soon as possible. But if it's just a delay of not up to 15 working days, I don't urge you to go there yet. Please do wait until 15 days and then go there. Okay, maybe it will resolve itself within those 15 days. So when you go to the Visa Application Center, it's run by a company called VFS. They have a lot of value-added services, such as a premium lounge. If you want more, it's just a nicer room, yeah? So, yeah, parents perhaps, it's just, you get a TV, some snacks, and you get an officer that serves you one-to-one instead of you waiting in a common room. It's quite nice, actually. Also, other services, if you can't make it within stipulated times, if you need to go after hours, perhaps later in the evening, you can get an extra time slot there. Also, if you need to borrow your passport, perhaps, if you don't want your passport kept with us for 15 working days, I understand that's quite a chunk of time, perhaps you need to travel, perhaps you need to apply for other visas, you can borrow your passport, okay? It's called the Keep My Passport When Applying service, and you can find that out on the website there. Okay, so last of all, my takeaway is please do apply when you get your CAS, okay? Because a lot of people are going to apply at the same time. It's best to just get it done as soon as possible. Right, so we're actually good on time. So.